when I'm done.
Hi, Luke. It's Ava. Are you ready for the meeting? Okay. If you can't hear anybody, let me know and I'll have them come closer. All right. Is that gentleman up?
Nah, whack it.
Meeting called to order. I'd like to start with the pledge of allegiance of the flag. Pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. And I'd like to start off the meeting with a little prayer. We pray we will be able to work as a team. Give us the wisdom to foresee the needs of our community and make decisions that will best serve our township. Amen. Who's recording?
I am recording.
And we're recording.
Okay.
December, oh, well, I don't see it down here, but I would like to approve the minutes from the last two December meetings. She has them up there. They're all combined on one sheet with a staple on it. Yeah, that's what that is. I'll give you a few minutes to look it over before I...
Need a motion to accept it?
Yes, I do. I'll
I
just
make
wait.
a motion that we accept the minutes as read.
I second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. December financial reports. You look them over. And, here you go. You can look this over. I already looked at it.
You should look at this ahead of time.
They were speaking. I'd like to make a motion to accept the December financial reports.
I second that.
All in favor? Aye. Road crew summary. Bobby, things are kind of out of
We've been busy with
order.
this weather. Seems like we're cindering every day. Our cinders seem to be real fine this year. They're like powder. We didn't get enough skid ordered when they did the bid to mix in properly. So I'd like to know whether we could purchase about 200 ton of 1Bs to mix in so we can try to get the cinders mixed up to where they're not freezing as bad and they're not as fine and they're gonna go farther.
And you want to get how many tons?
I'd like to get 200 ton. I think that would get us mixed up to where we can get back into the pile and hopefully get into good stuff.
And
$26 a ton from Dalrymple's.
okay, so how much would that be roughly?
About $5 grand probably, right?
No, I mean how much money?
How much what?
How much will it cost?
Probably about 5,000.
Okay, that's well within the limits that we can.
$26 a ton at 200 tons is,
5,200, so, yeah.
and we can truck that ourselves.
Okay, I'll make a motion that we get 200 ton, and what's it called again?
1Bs.
One what?
1B or 8s, depends whether you're in PA or New York. Pennsylvania, they're 1Bs, New York, they're 8s, same thing.
All right, and it's non-skid? Is that what it is? What is the material?
Stone,
Stone? Okay. All right, I'd like to make a motion to get 200 tons of 1B or whatever is necessary to put on the roads.
You made that motion?
If I make that motion,
I'll second that. I do have a question. Is that local stuff? You said you could truck it yourself. I just wondered.
we get it from Dalrymple's.
Oh,
I called them today and got the price on it.
Okay.
okay, anything else, Bob?
I think that's it for that.
Protest roads that I had. I'll try to be back in an hour.
Oh, I can let you do now. I can put you on I'm
I
sorry,
don't
what'd you
have,
say,
I don't have the stuff
Luke?
back.
How much was the account you said,
I'll be back.
Luke said, is it $26?
$26 a ton.
Yeah, the agenda's kind of like, not like it usually is. There were no monthly expenses for us to go through for this meeting, right? Okay, I just noticed that. Correspondence and communications. Okay, we got correspondence, and I'll read it to you. To our road crew, thank you for a great job keeping township roads and plowed and cindered. We live at the top of Burnham Road. It's steep and can be very icy, especially at the lower edge of the woods, where a culvert runs under it. Also, whoever mowed and trimmed our road this fall did a super job. We appreciate your hard work. Suzanne and Frank, is it Niver? Looks like N-I-V-E-R. Niver? I can't say that either, like
Niver.
Homestead. Okay, that's, I like to, Sean, that's your route. Way to go, Sean. Thank you very much. It's nice to get happy letters like that.
Sean, you yourself, get your own.
I'm waiting for the steak.
Hey, wait, another 2 steaks now? Oh, man. And I noticed that citizens' input is missing from this agenda. So is that David Young that just left, or you?
No, he's in.
Okay, David Young?
Okay. I don't know if you want me to come up there, but I do have a map here. I did make a paper copy of everything that I sent to you. Did you receive that electronically?
Yeah, I did print it out.
You did?
It was in your,
Let me go look.
Well, not,
Because there was something there from.
this should be fine to have you look at.
Something there from Luke, too.
quite,
Go ahead, Sherry, I'll be right back.
okay,
No, I want to go look.
but I did print it out.
Maybe it's on the other side of the desk.
You want
Sorry,
to wait, or-
everybody.
Yeah, just,
Yeah, wait till she gets home.
Okay.
Where is this located?
This is up on Ridgebury Lake.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's just around to one side there a little bit. I did make a paper copy of everything I sent in to her. If you need any more, I can make more of those. I can walk through all this.
You got 5 minutes.
Oh, geez. She's gonna take 10 minutes to get back.
can you juggle?
It's not in my box, Pat, I don't know.
He said it's not necessary to have it. I'll find it for you later.
Yeah, because this is Luke's stuff, this is the subdivision right here, that's the only other thing I have.
Well, let me dive into this a little bit.
That's a copy of it over there, correct? Isn't
Yeah,
that
this
what
is
you
all
said?
paper copy of what I sent, yep.
Right.
Stacy Long's looking to install a house up on Ridgebury Lake. And the first thing she did was go up to take a look at the septic and see how she was gonna do that.
Can you hear Luke?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Unfortunately, all the soils failed their perk tests up there. So the soils are not conducive to an on-site septic system. What that basically leaves you with is a small flow treatment facility that can be permitted through DEP. And that's an alternate type of system. There's a number of them that are available, but realistically what they're looking at is doing a boxed system that has a septic tank, has a UV light in it, and then has a discharge down to the lake. First of all, with this going to a lake, I was not completely sure if DEP would accept it. So I did do a conference call with them, and they sent me an email back that said that they would be able to permit this at this location. So they were okay with it. And then I checked with the sanitation committee to make sure that they were okay, because it was a separate company. What's the name of the company? But they did soils testing. So on site soils investigating. It was Soil Services Company was the name of the company that did the actual investigation of the soils to determine if they were not perkable. But Bill Tilley from the sanitation committee was actually at the site while he did that testing to make sure that that was okay. So those two entities were okay with this system going at this location. But with it being a homeowners association around the lake, they had to go to the association. And the association came back and said they were fine with it. So we've kind of got all that preliminary work done up front. Now it's the matter of the paperwork that has to go through DEP. Have you processed one of these here before? Do you recall?
We have, but I'd rather wait so Luke can look at this. He's
Yeah,
not here,
absolutely. No, I'm
and
not
then
asking
go
for anything
forward.
tonight,
Okay,
but I'm just kind of going through everything. And honestly, we've got to publish this in the newspaper. I didn't want you to go through the newspaper. Hey, what's going on in our township?
I'll appreciate
You know,
it,
so,
yeah.
so this is the paperwork that has to go in place. This entire proposal is actually a revision to your Act 537 plan that will allow this type of facility at this one particular location. It doesn't say that this can be used wherever anybody else wants to in the township. It's only at this one location. So that's why we go through all this paperwork. It's called a 3S module. It's a small flow treatment facility module. When you do a regular septic system, you do like a module 1, module 2. But this is a 3S. Here's information on what the project is, where it's located, and what type of facility we're doing. A small flow treatment facility has to be less than 2,000 gallons a day. With a 4-bedroom house, you're talking about 500 gallons a day, so it's much less than what the maximum is. So there's about 5 or 6 pages here with various information about the actual facility. There's a list of things that have to be on the plot plan. We have to go through and make sure everything's on there. Wetlands, there's no wetlands on site. We did a field walk to make sure of that. Primary agricultural land protection. There's a list of primary agricultural lands, and we're not in any of those. Historic Preservation Act, if there's Indians or there's, whatever, some historical information there. We look online and there's a website that tells us we're within so many feet of a find in the past or whatever, but there was nothing there. This is protection of rare endangered species. We did a PINDY search, if you're familiar with those, just to see if there's any endangered species of plant or animal out at this location. There was nothing found there. Then there's some additional testing that could be done to try and force a regular system in here, but we didn't do that because it was already failed by the soils investigation. Sewage enforcement officer, this is where Bill Tilley will walk through it and make sure that he's comfortable with it. Of course, he was out there. And then false swearing statement, when all's ready to go, I'll sign this on our behalf, and then down here is where the municipal portion begins. And assume there's no sewage management ordinance in the area. Basically, everything is just on-site septic systems for the most part.
Yes.
So, you can read through all this.
Okay.
I'm just kind of going through it fast just to keep these guys from falling asleep back here. So there's a location map. There's a narrative just describing, we're looking at 500 gallons per day.
Okay.
That is 1.25 equivalent daily units. An equivalent daily unit is 400 gallons. 1.25 is what we're proposing. An alternatives analysis, we can't do spray irrigation. We don't think there's going to be a sewer collection system going in up at the lake, as far as I know, unless you guys know something different. Here's the public notice that I'll be taking down to the newspaper and asking to publish. Your publication record is the Daily and Towanda,
Yeah.
Daily Review. Yeah.
right? Okay. And here's a copy of this, smaller.
Do you need a copy of the ad for the paper? Since I'm gonna keep this to let Luke look at it?
No, you can just keep this, I've got my
Okay.
own, so. And here's the soil testing that was done. He basically went to the site, it's fairly steep, it's about 25% slope. So the fact that we're putting a house out there is very ambitious. But they wouldn't be able to put in any alternate type of system, like a spray type of irrigation system, because it's too steep and there's not enough area. And here's the Pindy, like I said. But the two documents that are most important for you, we have to send this to the county planning agency also.
Okay.
So they have to review it, check off on it. They're basically looking at whether or not, this is an impact to the entire area. Is there a lot of failures around the area, et cetera? And this is consistent with the zoning in the area. This isn't zoned, right?
No.
No, we don't have zoning, we just have ordinances here.
Okay. All right, so here are the two items that I'm going to be asking for your assistance with. First of all is a resolution that you're okay with this going in at this one location, and it would have to be an enacted resolution at your meeting. Okay, so I'd ask for that at the next meeting, which is February 7th, I believe?
The first Tuesday of
First Tuesday.
the month, yeah.
So this is basically saying that this is a amendment to your Act 537 plan. That's what this is basically saying. And then this is the transmittal letter. So we're actually doing all this paperwork for the township because you're not going to want to do it for a private individual. So we do all this, put it together for you, and you review it. And if there's any questions, certainly get a hold of me.
Okay.
But I'll ask for this resolution at the next meeting if you can, and then the transmittal letter to be signed, and then I can take it and send it in to DEP.
Okay.
Okay?
I'm just gonna can I write it down for a second?
Well, once this is installed, over a period of time, does somebody come up and check that out, or?
Yes, there's an annual form that has to be put in by the owner. What, are you looking for these? Or?
No, I was gonna have you write your name and
Oh, okay,
phone
sure.
number down here, so
Okay.
if we have to get a hold of you, and then Luke, if he's feeling a little better, I'd
Okay.
like him to look at all this also,
Yep.
and our secretary.
My company is Moody and Associates, and we're in Athens. My name's Dave Young, and I live right there in Sayre.
Okay.
And I can put down, I'll just put it on the front of the checklist here.
Okay.
Right.
Luke, did you hear what I said? I'm gonna save this all for you to look at.
Yes, yes.
Those are so tight with that. I always put it in sideways.
Just,
I put it 90 degrees.
There you go. That's your job, Terry.
I usually just throw it in there
Hold
like
up
that.
that.
maps, we don't have maps anymore.
I still have a map. I'm a fossil. I still have a cell
Can I get that
phone.
sent to my phone?
Yeah, if you want.
No.
I sent it to the township. It was like 4 megs, so I wasn't sure that it came through, but apparently you did receive it, so. There you are. Thank you very much. And I will plan on being back next month.
Snow
All right.
permitting, right?
That's right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Next one is Mr. Scott Phillips.
So I have a few questions, I guess.
When I was a supervisor, Ava, you came in here and said that you didn't think it was very appropriate for a supervisor to work for the township. And then you appointed Terry to work for the township, and he's still doing the recycling and the mowing for the township. So do you think that's appropriate, or did you change your mind?
Well, he had that was his primary job before he became supervisor. Like he was already doing that job and then became a supervisor. So I think it's like, to me, it's like a different situation.
You think that's a different situation?
Yeah, what do you think, Luke? Did you hear what Scott said? Luke?
And can you repeat the question?
What?
Can you repeat the question, please?
Oh, could you not come up here and?
Yeah.
He can't hear you, Scott, sorry.
So in the past, Ava had said that she thought it was inappropriate for a supervisor to be an employee of the township. It was a conflict of interest. And now we appointed Terry, and we're going to keep him employed mowing and doing the recycling. Do you guys still think that's appropriate, or?
I
Perfectly
personally
legal.
don't have an issue with it. A lot of other township supervisors are also the foreman, a part of the road crew, our secretaries and so forth. So it's not uncommon for supervisors to be in positions at the township as employees.
Okay. But Ava took serious objection to it when I did the exact same thing, and it was perfectly legal, and it was perfectly normal when I did it. But she said it was inappropriate, and if I wanted to do it, I should do it on a volunteer basis and not be paid.
Well, that was just my personal opinion. I mean. as a
I understand, but
citizen,
now
it's
you're a
just my personal
supervisor, and
opinion.
you're going against your personal opinion.
Because now I'm having what do you call it, a professional aspect in the town. So my opinion would be different now because I'm not a citizen. Like Luke was telling me before, that it's okay. I did not realize when I was a citizen that people were doing it in other townships.
You were told that at the exact same meeting.
Repeatedly at the meeting.
At meeting after meeting after meeting, that there was nothing wrong with him helping and doing it. It was actually helpful and good, and yet it was, every meeting, it was how he should stay out of equipment and not do anything for the township. So, and it even went as far as, like, Percy didn't even want him to talk to the road crew at that time. And yet now, it's okay for another supervisor to do that.
I just don't understand, Ava, how you came in here and gave me your personal opinion and told me that I was doing the wrong thing. And you were adamant about it. And now I'm asking you if you think it's appropriate
Well,
to do the exact same thing.
I think that what you did was a different situation. You know what Terry is doing?
Working for the township
You
as a
were-
supervisor. It is,
I don't want to bring up like old.
okay.
I think this is entirely personal.
Hold on,
I'm trying-
hold on. But this is different.
I
You're
mean,
absolutely right.
I'm
This is
trying-
different because the way you're doing it is illegal. And the way I was doing it was legal. That's another problem that I have. You guys are doing things up here and you have no idea what you're doing. You say you appointed Terry because he's neutral, and you have 2 new supervisors and you don't know what you're doing.
Luke, do you have any comment on that?
I don't.
When did you decide to eliminate the roadmaster position?
In the reorganization, in the reorganizational meeting, we decided to do away with the roadmaster and the road crew. And Percy was the roadmaster and he resigned.
Right.
And we felt that now that we have Bobby Leonard as a very strong road foreman, there wouldn't be a need for the road crew, the road manager, because Bob is quite capable of taking care of that. So me and Luke.
I thought that you guys thought that Mike Chilson was doing a great job and was very capable. That's what you told us.
We did
That
think
we
he-
were wrong about Mike and he was a good road crew employee and was capable of doing the job, but you created a roadmaster position in order to direct him.
Right, that was,
And so you changed your mind about that again.
no, it was Percy's idea to have the roadmaster. It wasn't my idea.
Okay,
And then Luke and I both agreed and then Luke agreed to be the assistant roadmaster.
Okay.
But it wasn't like
Well,
my
well, when did you
idea.
do- What I want to know is when
technically.
you decided not to have a roadmaster.
When we did the reorganizational meeting, you know, for the new year, we decided we didn't need one.
Okay, well, we didn't hear that, anything about that. I was at the reorganizational meeting. You mean last night, right?
Yeah, we said that we were not gonna have a roadmaster anymore. I mentioned that when I was going down the list of things.
Right, you did
we
mention
weren't
that
gonna
when you
have
were
a
doing that,
roadmaster.
but you didn't vote on it. You just said you weren't gonna do it. That's not how you do business. You made a motion and hired Percy, appointed Percy to a position, and you appointed Luke to a position. And you seconded the motion and you made a vote. You made a real decision to put that position in place. And then last night you said, we're not gonna do that anymore.
Well, we
You don't-
didn't
you
go
can't-
there. We had an executive meeting and said we
So
decided.
you have
not
to tell
do
us
it.
all the, if you make a decision in an executive meeting, you have to announce it at the meeting. You didn't do that. You didn't say, hey, we voted to eliminate the road crew position. You just said, we decided not to do that anymore. Right? We're not gonna do that anymore.
Well, I guess I should have not used the word decide and should have used the word vote. 'Cause
You
we
probably
did
should have
use
used the word
So-
motion.
So I feel like a lot of decisions are being made outside of a public meeting.
Now, we've never made a decision without a public meeting.
Do you guys have meetings here on Sunday mornings?
We never have meetings except a half hour before the meeting starts. Then
Right.
we all meet in there and just go over the agenda.
But you don't
and
have
what we're gonna
meetings on
talk about.
Sundays. You didn't-
We've never had a meeting on a Sunday.
Okay,
I mean, to do township business or anything like that.
okay.
No.
Well, you think it's okay for Terry to be an employee?
Well, yeah.
And you
I
think
don't
it's
have a
okay that
problem.
you guys set his pay rate last night? Because that's illegal.
His pay rate, we didn't give him a raise. His pay rate was already.
I understand
was
that.
already
I don't care whether you
enacted.
gave him a raise or not. It's not your business to set his pay rate. Yeah, that's none of your business. You can't do that. You guys are brand new and you don't understand what you can and can't do.
Why can't we set his pay raise? We set
Because
everybody
he's a
else's.
supervisor. The auditors are the only people that can set his pay rate.
Well, they're meeting tomorrow
He
night.
is
What?
right on that.
What?
The auditors do that too. I forgot about that.
Right, that's what I'm saying. You
Luke
guys
said he
have.
forgot about that.
I understand it, right, but what I'm saying is you're doing
You
illegal
didn't know
things
what to
because you
forget.
don't understand. And we came in here and we tried to help you, and we tried to show you the things that you're doing, and then you said, well, we're gonna appoint Terry because he's neutral.
Yeah, we wanted.
Well, neutral's not working. You're not doing things that you're supposed to do. You're doing a lot of things that are not above board. And you're also not being forthcoming with the things that you are doing. Because I know you've had a ton of meetings here on Sundays. I personally know about it. It's
We never
okay.
had meetings here on a Sunday
No,
without personal business. or
I
anything.
attend all meetings and take minutes. I've never been in here on a Sunday.
Right, it's not an official meeting.
Right,
The
it's just-
supervisors come in here and make decisions on Sunday.
When did that happen? The last Sunday meeting? Because I'm not aware of them. I attend all meetings and I take.
Right, these are sidebar meetings
Right, that's
that
what
are
I'm
being
saying.
held without anyone
When
knowing.
was the last time it was held? Because I don't know anything about it.
They are on and off on Sundays.
Yeah,
Exact
regularly
dates-
on Sundays.
Regularly on Sundays. We can find out the dates we can pull the footage to see whose car is parked here on Sundays.
And
Yeah, because Tammy came in on a Sunday just to show us some things in the computer, nothing to do with anything
Yeah.
illegal. It wasn't no meeting or anything. Tammy would come in and show you or show me.
Oh, but a minute
something
ago,
in the
it never
computer.
happened.
So when did you decide to
We never had a
appoint?
meeting or
When
anything.
did
not a
you
meeting.
decide to appoint Terry?
When me and Luke decided to appoint Terry,
When did you do that?
when I made a motion, to.
So you're telling
and
me,
he
you're,
said
wait,
yes.
wait, wait, you're gonna tell me that you guys came into this meeting hall and read Percy's resignation,
Yep,
and then at that minute, you decided to appoint Terry, and
Not
he
that
thought
minute,
about
not
it
that
for
minute.
3 seconds and thought about it none at all and said, sure, I'll take it.
no, not that minute. We've known for months that Percy was gonna resign, and he just didn't do it. Remember
Okay.
you asked me what's up with Percy a
Yeah.
couple of months ago?
And then you
keep
didn't
saying
tell
he's gonna
us.
resign, he's gonna resign. Back then, in my thoughts, I gotta think of somebody to replace him, I'm not gonna wait till the last minute. So I thought that Terry would be a good choice. And Luke and I, luckily, most of the times we agree because there's only been 2 of us, and it would be pretty bad if we didn't, we wouldn't get anything done. But Luke just happened to agree with me. But I've been thinking about Terry for months, as soon as Percy said he was gonna resign and he didn't.
What I'm saying to you is, we've been asking you at the meetings for months if what's going on with Percy, and then you said, oh, we have no idea.
We don't have any
And now
idea.
you just said we knew that Percy was gonna resign for months.
Yeah, because he would say, I'm gonna resign, and then he says, no, I'm not gonna resign. He
Okay.
says, I'm gonna resign. No, I'm not gonna resign. So I'm taking that he's probably gonna need to resign.
And I called Luke, I'm gonna tell you on a personal note, I called Luke at 3 o'clock in the afternoon before the December 31st meeting and asked him if anything was going on, and he said, just the budget stuff. And I said, did you heard anything about Percy? And he said, no. And then you came in here and made Luke out to be a liar.
No,
and
I
said-
did not. We didn't find that resignation letter in the mailbox until the night of the meeting.
Okay.
And she got it out of the mailbox. That very night of the meeting, we found his resignation letter. Because he kept telling me, I'm gonna give it to you the end of December, I'm gonna give it to you. And he goes, and he never did it, never did it, never did it. I called him up and I said, Percy,
Threw it in there.
the end of November's like today. And he says, it'll be in the mailbox. She got out of the mailbox. She was here before I came in.
But you guys knew it was gonna happen.
So it's like I anticipated.
But you guys all knew it was gonna happen.
We were, of course, I mean, even you knew it was gonna happen, didn't you,
Okay.
Scott?
So can I ask
I mean,
something?
you kind of knew, but you didn't know. If
Okay.
someone keeps talking about something, you're kind of figuring they might do it eventually.
Yeah, we weren't sure.
We
So,
weren't sure
can
until we
I ask
actually
you a
had that
question?
letter.
Can
I'm sorry, hon.
I'd like to ask a
Go
question.
ahead.
So when it was time to appoint someone to a supervisor position, and Danny was interested, and you had run, and you lost the election, Terry appointed you, and now you appoint Terry, and you don't think that that's,
That's got nothing to do with it.
oh, but you
doesn't.
you don't think that him saying that he voted for you, and now you got him in there, and you don't think that that's,
It may look that way, but I'm not that kind of person. I'm not.
well, see, a lot of things look a lot of ways with you, and you do look like that kind of person.
I'm not the kind of person.
Well,
that would
Scott's not
say,
allowed
"I'm
to
gonna
work, but
get you
Terry
in."
is. Scott's not allowed to work for the township, but Terry is. Right? Right.
But he already
And
had
then,
the job.
and Scott had worked for the township a million times.
I got elected to the job.
And he was,
Terry got appointed. The people of Ridgebury Township voted.
and 2 out of the 3
knowing that
current
a
supervisors
knowing
are
that a
just appointed by each
supervisor
other.
knowing that a supervisor could work for the township. And when I ran for supervisor, I said that when the road crew needed help, I would be able to go out and help them. That's what I ran on. And then you came in here after all that, knowing nothing about that, and said that that was inappropriate and you didn't like it, and you thought it was ridiculous and I should quit.
The
And I should
reason-
pay back the money that I got paid, and I should do it on a volunteer basis,
Yep, I remember that incident when I was on that side of the table.
right?
And I went, I don't want to hash up old things, but there was a lawyer letter, and
There was what?
Yeah.
about the end, there was a lawyer's letter, I kept it, I have it, and he
Yeah.
said that what you did was wrong, the lawyer.
Yeah,
And
the
then there
lawyer
was-
said that?
And she was auditor then, I believe. Were you auditor then? I remember
Yes.
you bringing it up at the meeting. But as far as I'm concerned, Scott, I want to move forward to the future. I don't want to.
Okay, so if you'd like to move forward, then why is it that 2 of the 3 supervisors have appointed each other and have not been elected by the people of Ridgebury?
Well, this year is an election year, and the people will speak who they want.
I'm sure they will.
I mean, this is an election year, and.
You didn't
people
even know
will
what
do they
Bobby was
want.
talking about as far as mixing it in with the cinders.
That's because Luke is the expert on that kind of stuff. Luke, I do a lot of the.
You could at least
phone
know what it
calling.
is.
But
I know what you have to, I know you have to mix things in with the cinders, but when he was talking about different numbers, I didn't know what he was talking about.
Well, let me
Well,
tell
we had
you
exhibits last
let me tell you
year.
something a little else. You guys all threw a fit because I came and worked with the road crew, right? When there was a bad storm and the roads were horrible and I went out and helped to take care of the roads or plow the roads back with a grader, no one complained about that because they wanted to get out of their driveway. And when Bobby comes to me as an employee when I was a supervisor and said, hey, we gotta do something, the cinders are all balling up and freezing up, and we spend half our time breaking up lumps, and when you get them in the truck and they freeze up and you gotta dig them out with a bar, it's a real pain in the ass. I know that, because I went out and did the same thing. I understand what he's talking about. You guys don't have a clue. You've never done any of that. You've never done Bobby's job. You've never been out at 3 in the morning putting the chain back on the grader, trying to plow out the roads. You guys have no idea what you're talking about. But you wanted to judge people who came up there, who came in here and worked. I worked here for 4 years for a volunteer, never took a dime, because you guys cried about it. And you still came in here and complained about it. And you ran me down, and now you're gonna appoint Terry, and you're gonna pay him. And you voted on how much you're gonna pay him, and you don't think that that's gonna upset me. You better look in the mirror and think about what you've done.
And if you don't think this is gonna look horrible, because it is horrible.
Mr. Baker, will you, tomorrow, when you have your orders meeting, will you be able to address this issue?
I was actually, to be honest, I was gonna look into that because I had a kind of a question, you know, if that is considered an employee's position, and being supervisor, I did have a question about if it's able to be set, you know, the pay rate to be set that way. So I was gonna have to kind of question and look into that.
We're gonna have to do a job description.
Yep. Yep.
So we have to do a job description.
Well, it's kinda like
with
what-
salary, you're gonna have to.
Yep.
Yeah,
Well-
'cause, Mr. Baker, I know that me and Luke are new, and we do make a few things or mistakes, I grant you that, but we did not know that if you worked here first, that you couldn't be a supervisor. I mean, it was like an honest mistake. It wasn't like we deliberately plotted.
No, which is
You're
why
not-
it goes
you're
back
not-
to
you're
why you
not-
should have appointed someone that knows what they're doing.
You're not trying to protect yourself from making honest mistakes.
No, it is an honest mistake. It's not
I
like
know
I
it's an honest
planned it.
mistake, but when
I
you're
really
speeding
didn't
down the
know.
road, when you're driving
Luke
down the
didn't
road with no
know.
inspection sticker and it's an honest mistake, they're gonna give you a ticket.
I mean,
You're
Luke,
not trying to do your part to not make an honest
I think you
mistake.
really should direct your anger at Percy.
Oh, do
Really,
you?
Because at least her and Luke have
Percy
worked very
didn't,
hard.
Percy didn't appoint Terry.
just left them. He stopped coming to meetings. He
Yeah.
stopped giving directions. You had two people who really are sincere and they tried very hard to do what they were supposed to do. And I think you're being unfair, I do.
and then the secretary left, and usually the secretary is the one that knows most of the rules and regulations.
I just want
And
to
you
say,
go to
I
her,
just
and
want to
we
tell
didn't
all
have
you
her
guys,
either.
I want to tell everybody sitting at that desk, for the past 7 years, I've been telling you that Percy and Tammy were going to bend you over and stick it to you, and you told me that I was full of crap, and I didn't realize what good people Percy and Tammy were. Look who's smiling now, right? Percy and Tammy bent you over, and now you got to deal with it.
And
Right.
Luke and I are, you know, trying to hold things together. Luke, do you have any comments? Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here. And I didn't know that, Terry couldn't be appointed being an employee from what I'm picking up. Like Ava had said, I'm sorry if we have made a mistake. It has been a lot of stuff, and, you know, I haven't had much of a guidance, calling PSAT to find out answers to things. It's been a while. We haven't had a secretary to kind of, you know, give us a hand in any of this stuff. So I do apologize. It was good luck to figure out how to correct this mistake.
Did you hear him?
I just want you to know that it's perfectly fine for Terry to be an employee. That's perfectly fine. It's not okay for you to set his pay rate.
Well, I thank you, I stand corrected.
His pay rate will be set tomorrow.
Right, I understand that, but I'm just saying that you guys don't even know what you're doing. We're trying to help you out, and you're fighting us, and you're doing things behind our back, and you're trying to keep everything a secret.
They're not.
We're not really.
Okay.
They're
And
not.
actually,
I'm going to tell you,
when
when Ray Bellows and I were supervisors, everything was 100% transparent. We tried to put it out there for everyone to see, everything that was going on. And you don't do that. You say, oh, well, we knew Percy was going to resign. Wow, we weren't sure he was going to resign. Oh, he told us he would have the letter in the mailbox. Oh, and then when we got here, that's when we found out the letter was in the mailbox.
And we already talked about it for months ahead of time.
We found out that afternoon that was in the mailbox. We found out that afternoon.
But you had it in the works, so you were ready whenever that letter came.
Well, we have
That's
to
the
be ready.
point.
And
And I
have
completely
to be ready
understand
who
that.
I want.
Right,
and Luke
but
has to
when
be
you are
ready who he
asked,
wants.
when you are asked what is happening, and you say, I don't know,
I didn't know at the time.
you just said for months you knew it was happening and that you were going to appoint Terry.
Listen
You
to me
just said
carefully. I said for months, Percy has not come to the meeting, correct? We asked him what his intentions are. He said, I'm not sure, I'm not sure, I'm not sure, I think I might resign, I might not resign. So that's still not knowing, because he's never said, I'm actually going to do it.
You're speaking semantics right now,
No,
is what
I'm
you're
telling
speaking.
you the truth.
Yes, you are.
I'm
You are
telling you the
speaking semantics.
No, I'm not.
You knew, I didn't know, I knew. I knew, I didn't know. He said for months, he didn't say. When you were point blank asked, what is up with Percy? And you say, I don't know.
I
He
don't
says
know.
he's-
I don't
Right,
know.
but you
because he
can
won't
say-
make up his mind.
Right, but you are not giving the full truth. You're not
I'm giving
giving
the
full
full
transparency. You're
You didn't
saying,
say that-
I don't know.
You didn't say that Percy said he was going to resign, but he hasn't done so yet.
Right.
You said, we have no idea, we've not been in contact with Percy. And then you just said to me that Percy said he was going to resign.
And that you had a backup plan, and you had a contingency plan
I
in
thought that
place.
he was going to resign, because when someone doesn't come to a meeting for 5 months, what are you going to think?
Right, so why would you not say that when you were asked?
Because he didn't officially tell me if he's going to resign. He said, I might resign, I might not resign, I'm thinking of resigning, I don't know what I'm going to do. So I don't want to discuss it anymore, because all I'm telling you is what Percy kept wish-washy. He's wish-washy.
Like you?
So I don't know. No, I'm not wish-washy.
Just like you.
No, she's
No.
not.
So I'm just going to, I think we should move forward.
So I'm
This
just going to
conversation.
go backwards for 1 minute. 2 years ago, I told you that the road crew we had was trash. They were ruining our equipment and they were doing horrible work, and you defended them. You gave them raises. You demanded that I give them a raise because I wasn't a man of my word. And I said, I am a man of my word. I said, if you go through your probation period, you do a good job, we'll pay you more money. You didn't do a good job. You were horrible employees. You destroyed our equipment, our roads are horrible, and you don't work. And you thought that I was completely wrong, and I was a jerk, and I was the problem.
Yeah, but that's in the
And then,
past.
and then you said, oh, you just can't get along with Percy. You can't get along with Percy. I think you guys need to get along.
Yeah, I think
And I
you
said
should. If
Percy
you're
and
up here,
Tammy-
you guys got to get along.
Percy and Tammy are the problem. And you said, oh, no, no. Oh, no. Oh, no, they're not. Percy is doing a great job. Percy's a good guy. And then
And
you-
Tammy should
and
work
then-
40 hours a week.
And then you voted to
That's
make
another thing.
Then you voted to make Percy the roadmaster, and you voted to give Tammy a raise, and now where are you?
And Tammy should work 40 hours a week because there's no way that the office could run if Tammy was only in here 2 or 3 days a week. It was a personal vendetta Scott had when he said the secretary position should only be 20 hours a week. That is why I'm calling you wishy-washy. Because those are large topics that you have floundered on for the last 2 years.
I don't know, we had her in the office for 40 hours. It was full-time.
You told me that if I made Tammy part-time,
The
that
township
it
would
was a
fall apart.
personal vendetta, and...
I never said it was a personal vendetta. I never did it. I never said
Okay,
that.
well, I'll play the
You and
record-
Kathy
I'll play the
Minnick sat
recording
right here
for you.
and said that.
I'll play the recording for you.
I didn't say the words personal vendetta.
You most certainly, I
That's
sat right
in the
here.
past. Why do you?
Because you just said
saying
you're not
in the
wishy,
past?
you are wishy-washy.
Well, all right, your opinion is I'm wishy-washy, and I respect your opinion. But don't,
You didn't
Keep
think
talking
that...
about it. I think
You
we
thought
should
that the
stop talking
township
about it.
absolutely needed a full-time secretary, and cutting Tammy to part-time would be wrong.
I thought we did need a full-time secretary.
Until you sat up there, and then all of a sudden, the first month you sat up there, you voted to make her part-time.
Because she had another job, and she was helping us out.
But you said Scott was just being vindictive.
She was helping us out. She got a new job. She didn't want to leave us in the lurch. We didn't have a treasurer. So she stayed on to help us out at that time. We had nobody. If Tammy didn't stay, no bills would get paid. We had no treasurer. The treasurer quit right after Tammy quit.
Right.
We didn't have anybody. So Tammy was working at least 20 hours or more at home, and then Pat was coming in the office and supplementing the other hours.
I understand that.
We have a temporary part-time secretary now, because she's also doing 2 other townships. Otherwise, I'd love to have her in here more hours, doing more stuff.
She's very knowledgeable.
She really is smart.
Right, and that's not a
I'm
problem.
hoping to
The
keep her.
problem is that when you were on this side, you sat back here and you degraded him and you said terrible things about him, meeting after meeting after meeting. You
True.
and Tammy in person.
True, I admit that.
Thank you.
Meeting
So-
after meeting,
so
then
please
me
let
and
me
Scott
finish.
got at it.
So let me finish what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, you sat here and you did that, and you said all of these things he was doing were terrible, and now you are doing those things.
I am not being disrespectful to anybody. I'm not being disrespectful to the men.
No, you don't understand what
I
I'm
wasn't
saying.
being disrespectful.
He was
to you
never
either.
disrespectful to you.
I never
What
said
I'm
you were
saying is,
disrespectful to me. You were disrespectful to the men.
you think it's okay that Terry gets paid, it wasn't okay that Scott got paid.
Because the
it
way
was-
Scott did it, I don't think did Scott get a
You didn't
permission
have
to
a
work?
CDL.
Did I do?
When you were working, you didn't have a CDL, and it was,
Correct, I did
that
not.
was supposed to be.
Neither did
approval.
Terry, and Terry's mowing the lawn, and he ran the loader in
You
the
don't
parking
need a
lot.
CDL to mow the lawn.
He ran the loader and plowed the parking lot.
I don't know if you need a CDL for,
You don't need a
You need
CDL
a
for a loader,
CDL?
you don't need one for a grader, you don't need one for a backhoe, you don't need one for the tractor. Those are the things that I was running that you said I needed a CDL for, but you were wrong. You were all wrong.
I didn't say you needed a CDL. I was going by, when I was on that side, going by what the lawyer letter was. That's all I was going by.
What did the lawyer letter say?
It said that, I could get it, I still have it.
Yeah.
It said roughly that you should pay the township back that money when the next time we have an audit. That's what the lawyer's letter
Wow.
said, in not so many words.
Why would I pay back the money?
I don't know, I'm not a lawyer.
If Terry works 4 hours this week on fixing the lawnmower, and you write him a check for 4 hours at whatever amount that the auditors say, that's perfectly legit. Why should Terry ever have to pay that back? He actually worked those hours, he did the job, you wrote him a check.
I don't know, I'm not a lawyer.
I'm
was just
not,
going by
I'm
the
not a lawyer
letter.
either, but I think when a person
By the
works and
lawyer's
fills out
letter.
a timesheet
But-
and is paid the rate that the auditor set, and then you come in here months later knowing nothing about any of it and demand that I pay the money back.
Because I read the lawyer's letter, I was going by the lawyer's letter that was
And you do
passed out
understand
to
that a
me.
lawyer will say whatever they
But-
want, whatever their client asks
But I
them to
think we should
say.
move on because this is going
Just out of
nowhere.
curiosity, who was the lawyer that wrote the letter?
It was Thompson, wasn't it?
It was John Thompson?
Mr. Thompson.
Yeah,
the
it was John
township-
He's been with
Thompson.
us for years.
The township lawyer.
Yep.
Yeah, it was John Thompson.
Huh?
It was John
Yeah,
Thompson
it
that
was
wrote
him.
that letter.
So as being on that side, I was just going by the paperwork that was passed out.
You know that
The
when they
lawyer,
built,
I believe lawyers, I mean.
Ava, you know that when they built the sign, when they put the township sign up, the limit for bids was $19,800. They bought a sign for $18,000 and then spent $5,000 to put it up, which was totally illegal because when you make a purchase, you can't piecemeal different parts of the purchase to stay under the bid limit. It was totally illegal. John Thompson sat at that desk and told us it was perfectly okay, and then out in the parking lot told us it was illegal. But he was working for the township, so he sat up there and lied to us.
No, I wasn't here
Because
for that.
that's what lawyers do, they tell you what you want them to do.
What is the bottom line? What
The
is
bottom line
purpose
is
of
I
this
want you to
discussion?
do,
It's getting late.
I want you to do the things the right way.
No, we have somebody now, we just don't put her, she's a secretary, but she's extremely knowledgeable. She knows what supervisors, what their role is, she understands that completely.
I
And she
understand that.
has been very helpful, so going forward, we're really optimistic.
Right, and how about no more double standards?
But Haley's not sitting here at the meeting, and I'm not judging her or saying that she should be. But right now, you guys are making decisions that are like you voted on Terry's pay rate. It was illegal. Haley Robeson, if she was sitting in one of those chairs, she would have stopped that and said, you can't do that. But you don't have anybody to help you tonight or last night.
Well, hopefully, Mr. Baker can
But what do you think should be done?
Take care of that tomorrow.
take care of it.
What I think you should have done is appointed someone who knew what was going on instead of having 3 brand new supervisors and a treasurer. You're brand new, Pat. I'm not judging you. You guys are all brand new. I'm not judging any of you.
It's really tough.
I understand.
It's really been hard.
I was a brand new supervisor too, and I got hammered up there, right? Just like you guys are getting hammered right now. And you were one of the people hammering me, Pat,
Yes,
right? And that's what I'm trying to say. You need somebody up there who knows what's going on to help you through this. Because you're making decisions that are wrong and they're illegal and they're gonna get you into trouble. I'm trying to help you out with that. And you take my help when I'm sitting here in the meeting, and then you
I
do things-
appreciate your help when you give me advice at the meeting, and I thanked you before when you've given me advice, and I thank Mr. Baker when he's given me advice at the meetings. I do listen and try to take advice. I do, Scott. And Scott, I got no grudge against you whatsoever. I want to put behind us whatever we had going on in the past, and I want to go forward, and I want to work with you. I told you the other night, if you ran for supervisor, I would have no problem working with you whatsoever. I mean, I don't have
understand
any
that, but
animosity for you or any
but what I'm saying
grudges
is,
or anything.
you put me through the ringer.
I know I did.
You
Sure, I
guys
did, I
ran,
agree.
you guys put me in the paper like I stole money that I worked for. I
Oh, I
worked,
didn't put you in the paper. I didn't have anything to do with that. Wasn't a supervisor putting you in the paper.
I
don't
worked-
remember doing that.
I worked a job for $32 an hour, and I took vacation time from work to volunteer to run the grader and the backhoe to help Bobby for $14 an hour, and you guys wanted me to pay it back. I lost money to help the people of Ridgebury. I sat on the bridge with a backhoe digging trees out from underneath it while they hauled people out of the trailer park in a flood that were gonna die. And you thought I should pay the $14 an hour back because I was out there risking my life, trying to help people.
That's
and-
because I was going by the evidence that I was handed at the meeting.
And so now I hope you-
Let me tell you something, most of that evidence came from Percy and Tammy.
But I wouldn't know
Why
that,
don't you just
right?
think about that for a minute?
Well,
I
see,
wouldn't-
that's
That's
the
who
thing,
fed
you
you all
didn't
this
know that.
information. That's who fed you all this too, Pat, was Tammy. Tammy fed you all the things that you came in here and complained about. Tammy Talada, before I was a supervisor, she would text me the day before the meeting and tell me all the questions to ask the supervisor about all the things they did that were illegal. And then when I was a supervisor, she did it to you. She'd text you, and Bill Bowman, and Kathy Minnick, and Ava.
She didn't text me.
She never texted me either.
You know who used to do that was Jim Allen.
Well, I have text
And that's
message
really
from Tammy.
good.
I got them in my truck. You want to see them? I printed them out.
I honestly, she didn't send me anything.
And when you would come in and have coffee with Tammy, you guys didn't discuss that?
I didn't have coffee with
No,
her.
Ava did.
Oh,
Yeah.
Because that was one of the things that, that was one of the reasons why the office had to be open for 40 hours.
You would come in and talk to
I come in
Tammy.
and had questions. I
You would
had
come in and
questions.
talk to Tammy once a week, and then you would come in here in the meeting and complain about everything that I did that Tammy didn't like.
Nope,
Is
Tammy
that
and I
true or
never
false?
talked. It's false. I never,
Okay, fair enough.
it's not. Tammy
I'm-
never fed me information or
I'm good
anything.
then. Thank you.
I just had questions. I call PSAP just about 2 or 3 times a week.
I had
Asking
questions
them
today
questions
too.
because I don't understand.
Why were you
stuff.
calling PSATs if you weren't a
To ask them
supervisor?
a question, not
Right,
about
if you
you
weren't a
guys. I'm
super, but if
talking
you weren't a
about
supervisor.
my job as supervisor. I will
No, and
call
I'm
them.
saying before you were a supervisor, you came in and sat and had coffee with Tammy all the time.
No, I only had coffee once with Tammy because I was going to Dunkin' Donuts, as if this has anything to do with the meeting, and I brought her.
It has to do with the fact that you lied. You lied through your teeth.
I'm not
She
lying. What do you
doesn't
mean?
lie.
I don't
That's
understand what
not
you're
true.
talking
She
about.
You were in the office all the time, Ava.
I would come in the office to ask things, but I want to stop talking about this right now
I'm
because
gonna go outside.
I
I
did
need to
nothing
go
wrong. She's a secretary. I have questions. I would go in and ask questions about stuff that I didn't understand, things that had to be done.
You're either stupid or a liar. One of the two.
Okay, now the meeting's getting to be personal, and I'm trying to have peaceful meetings and not have meetings that are like personal attacks on people. If you complain and everything,
Oh, like somebody sitting back
But-
here saying that even though you work for that money, you should pay it back. That was a personal attack, Ava.
that
I took it
was,
personal.
and you know what? The chairman should have said, enough of that, we're not gonna have personal attacks in here.
I did. And then you said I was mistreating the residents. I didn't treat them with respect. When I told the people in here, you said the same thing to me for 6 months. I'm not paying the money back. I work for the money. I'm not going to listen to it.
And so did everybody else, so did the other people that were in here. There were like 2 or 3 other people at the time that were talking about it. But
Right.
that's in the past. Why do you keep bringing up the past? I'm trying to
Because
get
you're
along
doing the
with you.
same thing right now. You're doing the things you said you wouldn't do, that I shouldn't do.
Well, we're gonna move forward because we're not getting anywhere with this. Do you have anything else you want to talk about other than what we keep going over and over about? All
No,
right.
I got the answers to the questions I wanted.
And I appreciate, Mr. Baker, if you can straighten out the Terry Goosehead, please.
Well, that's what we're gonna be doing, is going over
Okay,
pay rates
thank you.
and removing the job description for the roadmaster and stuff like that, you know.
Okay. Old business, open diesel and gasoline fuel bid. We only got one fuel bid, by the way. This is it.
We usually only do.
If I can get it out. WOC Energy. And that's who we have now. And actually, that's it, just one. And he's gonna supply us with the 1,000 gallon above ground diesel fuel tank, free of charge, as long as we get the fuel from him, there'll be no charge for that tank.
Who's the company?
WOC,
Okay.
it's the same one we have now.
Gotcha. It's not Wayne there.
I would like to motion to accept WOC as our diesel supplier and gasoline supplier.
Second.
All in favor?
Is
Aye.
is that just the diesel, above ground diesel tank?
Yeah, above ground diesel tank.
My opinion on that is I think we ought to go with the diesel with them, but I think we ought to discontinue the gas and just get gas, go to the Dandy and get our gas. We pulled a sample out of our tank because nothing will run over there, and we took a sample down, they're in mason jars over there on the desk, and we went to the Dandy and pulled a sample. And our gas compared to the tank gas looks like mud water. We're
All right.
having issues with everything running. I think we ought to just, for the amount of gas that gets used, I think we ought to just go to the Dandy and get it in cans or something. And
Okay,
just
I agree with that.
whatever's left in that tank, if we can use it, and then just go that route.
Okay. And I agree with you, and I'll let him know.
Just go with
That the
the
gas won't be
diesel,
needed.
above ground diesel tank.
Okay.
Any idea how much gas is left in the tank?
Oh, I think it was like 400 gallons.
And it's all junk.
Okay.
Small engines don't
did I
like
make
it.
a motion?
There's mason jars on the desk over there.
It picks up the water.
And one looks like water and one looks like tar. That's the simplest way to explain it.
Okay.
You could just get a Dandy card, you can get a Dandy Mini Mart fuel card, and you guys could have it at the garage, and Terry could use it to get fuel for the lawnmowers. That's really all you're using it for, right? Chainsaws, weed whackers,
The
lawnmowers.
lawnmowers, the only thing is, my opinion is the chainsaws and the weed eaters just buy the already pre-mixed gas right out of the can.
We don't deal with the ethanol.
You don't have to deal with the oil and mixing it, it's already pre-mixed.
New business. I'd like to make a motion to approve a contract with the Bradford County Conservation District for the Mormon Lake Dirt and Gravel Project. Do I have a second?
What's this, that's something that already exists, and you wanna renew it, is that,
What are you talking about?
what do you do?
It's this.
Yeah,
We have to approve the Bradford County Conservation District Mormon Lake Dirt and Gravel Project. They've already, have it all lined up and doing what they need to do, but we need to make a motion to approve it. And it's free. It's a dirt and gravel project. Did you hear that, Luke? Luke?
Yeah, I did. Terry, we had applied for a grant last year for the Mormon Lake, and then also a low volume grant for Mormon Lake as well, and we were approved for both of those. That's what that document is for.
okay.
And we just have to do a motion on it.
It was actually supposed to happen last fall, but the way the road crew was, it didn't get done. So conservation was helpful in letting the township or whoever carry the funds over till this year to get that done this year. Us.
Yeah, because they realized that we didn't have a secretary
Right.
or nothing, and they were kind enough to roll it over to this year so we wouldn't lose our dirt and gravel project. I mean, they were really wonderful working with us. They understood our situation, and also let me and Luke in them.
There was a lot of landowners in both them projects. It took a lot of time to get permission and easement signed also. But now that everybody's on board, contract's ready to go.
Yeah. So let's motion it again, just because we got talking. I want to make a motion that we approve the contract with Bradford County Conservation District for Mormon Lake and
Yeah,
Umbrella.
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye. Okay, the next thing, email for the township garage. We now have an email, which I put on some of the Facebook pages so people would know. In the garage, it's RBURY garage@gmail.com, and I encourage everyone to use it. If they have any issues with their roads or anything going on, and you can call and email them. We will be doing road inspections for the next couple of months when the snow is gone. Spring cleanup dates have been set for April 26th and fall cleanup October 11th.
Now, do you need to make any kind of double checking with Scott, because did you have to make a motion on that, or?
We usually do, yeah, because you're spending money,
Yeah, make a
spending
motion.
township's funds to
Thank
do
you.
it.
I'd like to make a motion to set the dates for spring cleanup, April 26th, fall cleanup, October 11th. Do I have a second?
You want to second that, Luke?
I'll second the motion.
Okay, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
I'd like to make a motion to donate to Ridgebury Park in memory of Jerry Anthony, $50. Do you guys have any other amounts you might want to do or not want to do? Okay, I'll make a motion then. 50, okay. I make a motion to do the $50 in Jerry Anthony's memory to the park. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Now, Luke, you can't vote on this, you have to abstain. We have a subdivision for Leland Jella and Luke Jella. So I'd like to make a motion that we approve the subdivision. You'd have to second it if you approve.
Should we know what it's all about?
Because he cannot vote on this. It was over here somewhere. Thank you very much. There you go, sir. There you go. Sorry, I thought you looked at it in the other room. Sorry about that. It's gonna be up, is it up near the Sugar Shack? Luke?
Yeah, it's in the
Across from the Sugar House, over the Sugar Shack there.
What's the subdivision gonna accomplish, Luke?
Is it so, he wants to build a house, he said. You said build a house, right?
Okay.
Yeah, anytime you cut even a small sliver of property off, you've got to have a subdivision for it.
Well, I understand that.
Okay.
You hand me a bunch of paper and say,
Informational purpose, really.
Yeah.
It's already been approved by like the Bradford Sanitation Committee and
yeah,
all those other people. Usually it's just formality that we do this.
Do we have a permit?
He's got permits and all of this.
you made the motion.
Yes, I did make a motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Get the mistake somehow.
And I would like to thank Scott Phillips and Mr. Baker for bringing up the fact that we needed a driveway and road crossing inspection officer. Luke and I had not having a secretary. we went by last year's reorganization meeting, and it was not on there. It wasn't. We looked at the whole thing, the minutes of that
Interesting.
meeting.
Because Percy had
So-
been, he had been the driveway,
Yeah. So
person.
they didn't vote him, he just did it, I guess, for last year.
All right.
So that's why we didn't even know it existed. So we want to thank you, Scott, and thank you, Dave, for bringing that up last night, so we were able to vote on that and add it to the reorganization meeting. And any other comments?
Now, I put in an application, will that be in for next month, or?
Yes, that will be in for next month, because
Okay.
Luke's not here, and I want him to read the information
Okay.
that you put with that.
That's fine.
That's okay?
That's fine, I just
I
want,
want Luke
Bobby
to.
waving his
Did you
hand.
guys?
I'm sorry, Bobby, I'm not closing yet.
Back to the subdivisions, I don't know, you mentioned something, Luke might know something about the Warren and Warner subdivision.
That's what I was just gonna ask.
Oh, yeah, what's up with the Warren subdivision? They've been asking about that, Luke.
Mark Warner contacted me today and said it was back in July that supposedly it was submitted, and he has yet to hear anything back.
It was back in July, Luke. Did you follow up on that? Were you gonna call around to see, like, where it,
I checked with the office and I couldn't find anything. I did not get a chance to talk to the planning commission to find out where it's at. I'm not sure if there's anything to hear that. I believe we approved it back in the August meeting. And we looked at it, I'm not sure where it was.
okay, he thought we had okayed it in August meeting and it went to DEP. So I'll check the minutes
So-
back in August and see if I can find it, because I keep them all.
So Bruce Benish told Mark that, so this guy right here, actually. He's the guy to ask.
Hope you're not waiting for me.
Is he
actually, we were just talking about you.
is he the guy that asked about Warren?
Yeah, about Mark Warner and Warren's subdivision.
That's what I have here is the,
What happened to it? They said it was like back in July, do you know?
I
what
just
happened?
plain forgot it. I didn't put it in my bag.
You mean it's your fault, not ours for a change?
Yes, that was me.
Hallelujah.
Yeah, I have the,
Good thing you went long, Scott.
Yeah. You say that? See that?
sewage facility modules, which needs signing, you or whoever. Yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to be,
no,
I
you're
wanted to
fine.
be abrupt and so I could get out and get back and not hold you up, you know?
Oh, no, that's okay. Hey, Luke, did you hear that? The Warren dude is here and we're good to go. Did you hear that?
Does anything they have to vote on this one?
You do have to approve it. It's kind of a rubber stamp as long as Bradford County Sanitation and Planning Commission has done it. And I already know they did.
There's 3 sets there, one of them's yours, and, you know, it's stated right on what it is, and I think there's 2 places it needs to be signed, something like that.
You're lucky, we went long, usually it's about a 10-minute meeting.
Well, usually, it's a little longer than, I thought I'd get here a little quicker, but, yeah.
Do a little drag racing to the hills, you know.
Well, except it's snowing out, so I couldn't even, you know?
It's still snowing?
Not hard, but I go from a squall here where, you know, it's getting, and then it dies off, and it's back to another squall.
So you're doing a little Tokyo drift around the corners there.
Just got the Jeep back a little while ago, the whole back end fell out. It was repairable, no, I ain't paying anything.
You can show, that's okay.
It looks like it's just one spot. It just
It
is
may
one
just be
spot?
the one spot.
Looks like one spot. I just want to make sure I'm not missing any.
There's different spots on
here.
each one.
I can show you that, you got a picture.
It has to be for 2 signatures, but we don't have a
Yeah, but
secretary here right now. You want me just to sign it as a person? It's got 2 signatures.
Yours would be fine.
Appreciate that. Listen, I come to these guys, you know, about your topic. What's that? That's the sound.
I'm not accustomed to signing these.
So I can get a
This
stick
is
too?
fine.
Yeah, I don't, yeah,
This is the only one I could find, but
you do
find another one?
the same one here, you gotta check the 2 boxes, and then the next page has a signature.
No, you just put it in agency. You don't have zoning, that's for sure.
Maybe they can get right. The whip across my back.
We don't have a,
No, you're okay.
Right,
it's
that's
just
it.
planning agency.
Right, it just asks you to check the,
Just that.
You can rid it.
and then if the signature's on the next page.
It's all good.
What is he planning to do?
You need to be back here to
What
hear
is
what
he
we're
planning
saying.
to do? I was just curious.
Well, they're just separating the one point, yeah, the one side of the road off from the other side.
That's it, all
Well,
this paperwork to
so-
do that.
Well, yeah, there's perk tests on it so far, but you guys generally get the plan about a month before we get these, so. Yeah, this one,
Is this it on this one?
that's, yeah, check the box there, and then here also.
Weird.
I remember looking at this back then. I think I remember looking at this back then. No, that's it, I'm seeing it over there.
This one needed the boxes checked, yeah.
Okay, there's that one.
On the next page, you need the box checked.
I found that one already. So what is it, Warner and who's the other person?
Warren,
Warner and Warner?
yeah,
Their names are almost the same.
yeah. And this would be your copy. That would be it.
And is this a subdivision?
Yeah, I thought we usually, you get it about a month.
I must have got it back in August, I bet,
Well,
like you said.
it was done back in August, so we haven't had it here a couple weeks earlier. This is what it looks like. This is, yeah, Johnson Road and Sturvison,
Okay.
and this is just on.
I do remember seeing this way back then, I believe.
Should be, yeah, right here, we're just cutting this piece off here. And continues up here. They had the perk tests on it here. Now they're keeping this in the family and then selling that off to
Okay.
No, I have to.
All right, I
This
made,
one's a township copy, you have one, right?
thank you, all right, all right.
What did Bobby do?
And. Alright. Hopefully they don't need 2 signatures on this.
I know, it's so too, they didn't have a name, the person's name.
Last I knew, well,
Right.
five yellow, or 4.
Oh, usually, I guess it's a matter of print and then a signature, but that's okay. I got this all to work. If I gotta come back, we'll work something out.
I print, I write it.
Well, they do that down at the, sanitation.
They better not just slap them, right?
Okay, folks, I thank
Sorry you
you.
had to come back. Sorry about that, that we could
No.
have had you done earlier.
Well, yeah, but I didn't have the paper, that was the problem.
Oh,
I
you
had
didn't have the paperwork, so
Right,
that's why
I
you
left
left.
that at the house.
Oh,
Yeah, it's an hour's, half hour down, half hour back. I was like, geez, I hope I make it.
he is lucky that we were long-winded tonight.
Where's your memory?
Where's my memory? It's 20 years ago.
He remembered the bag, though.
Yeah, well, oh, we got puppies.
Yeah.
And so I had got the paperwork, put it up out of the way where the dogs wouldn't get them. Wouldn't get in the shower and all that, got my bag, got dressed, came, just never remembered to pick it up.
Okay.
Thank you, folks.
Oh, sure. Okay, I make a motion that we approve the Warner stuff.
Okay, no. Oh, no, sorry.
Oh, Danny, you want to say something?
No,
I
you
missed
finish what
my
you're.
motion.
You finish doing what you do there, all right.
Oh,
I'll ask afterwards.
I'm afraid to do it.
No.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion to approve the Warner subdivision. Warner, it's a tongue twister subdivision.
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye. Okay. I'm sorry, Danny, go ahead.
Well, I'd like to ask, if I could be put back on to be in case, any case that we might get a big storm, or the guys need me, that they rely on somebody that they know can run the equipment.
Well, you are on inactive per diem right now, I believe.
Right, but if I'm on active,
So-
that if there should be a storm and these guys are out and they need me, I would like to be able to help the community. If I can be out there, and I don't have to come until somebody calls me, but I'm just saying, I might never get called, but I'd like to be, at least, that you wouldn't have to make a decision overnight, you know what I'm saying? That if you need me, I'm here.
And we can put you back on active per diem?
Yeah,
I guess that would be called it, huh? Active per diem? He's like in the computer still.
yeah,
But they haven't called him. I'm thinking maybe he's like inactive.
right.
What's his last name?
Oh, Janowski. Don't ask me how to spell it.
Janowsky, like is in yellow.
Now, I can say Janowski, but I can't say
Houston.
Houston.
Houston. Now you say Houston, good.
We're gonna have to start serving coffee if we're gonna have these marathon meetings, huh?
You need to make a motion.
Hey, I'm gonna make a motion, if anybody doesn't have anything else to say, make a motion to end the meeting.
They need to make that.
Okay.
You got all your notes?
That certainly helps
Make sure you bring it back, 'cause
We'll do that. We're done. So first, I said, we got, I'm gonna be a dinner.